we live right on the edge of downtown and uptown. Love the area, that's why we're there. And, but my question is, we have the police who are trying to change how they police. And they're doing a lot of work, and they're doing a lot of work with their youth. And we have a large area in next year, 2011, will be 10 years for the city of Greater Sudbury. We have not increased bylaw enforcement officers. There are 6 of them for the city of Greater Sudbury.
Can we have your question, please?
Well, I guess my question is, the number, we have little numbers. We have 17 high schools, 2 policemen who can work there, and 6 bylaw enforcement officers. So I guess I'm looking at, if you are elected or re-elected, where do you see changes, improvements coming in order to assist the city, the bylaw enforcement, and the police with our safety issue?
Thank you. Ms. Finn?
Thank you for the question. What's already been done, Zone 30 is a support system, a police system that was installed in Ward 12 to support communities that are experiencing difficulties and safety difficulties. What has been done is a SEPTED audit of the area, which is one measure that we did. I have been a proponent of extending bylaw hours, not just the 8:30 to 4:30, because the events happen on Saturday night at 11:30 and the police are at a different pay scale. I'm on the Safety, the Eye in the Sky for the BIA, and I'm a proponent of the video cameras for the safety of not only downtown but for areas that are of concern. So I think that I will continue supporting having, number one, more bylaw officers, which is something that we need, as well as the other things that I mentioned. Thank you.
Next, anyone?
Thank you. And it's actually a huge question. You can't solve that with any one solution. Bylaw enforcement is definitely something that's been needed in this city for a long time. For it just to be coming up now is a little disingenuous. The other thing is you need things for youth to do so that they don't get into trouble in the first place and this crime doesn't happen. We've done lots for people up to the years of 10. We've done lots for seniors. We haven't seen a lot of park development. We haven't seen basketball courts being built. We haven't seen a skateboard park be built since what happened in Minnow Lake. These are the things that keep people active and keep people out of crime in the first place. We need to keep our citizens active. We need to have bylaw enforcement that works 24 hours a day. They're an enforcement agency, and that's how it should go. And we need the buy-in of the residents around to make sure they're making the phone calls and making the complaints that these things are dealt with.
That was a good question, and I fully support that we do need more policing. I think we need policing like 24 hours. We need them to be walking the beat and not just patrolling in patrol cars. Because you know what? As soon as you drive by an area, something can happen. Youth are not stupid, they're very educated. So they know where they're going to be at all times. Secondly, I had discussions with students from Llewellyn School, and they all told me that they said, we need things for our youth to do in our community. There's nothing for us to do. And like Jeff said, if you're sitting there and you're a youth and you have nothing to do, what do? Your mind races into bad things instead of good things. But if you're preoccupied into activities, sporting events, then your mind is not, you don't have the opportunity to look for bad things to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very quickly, and this isn't disingenuous, I will say, I agree that we need more bylaw officers. I also agree, or I've said, I think we have enough employees. But I think we could do this by shifting people. I mean, I think there are some areas where we could decrease our numbers, so I still think even within that context it's possible. But I also think that the world is a very different place. Fortunately, Sudbury isn't Toronto, where you see ongoing violence every day. But we are seeing more disturbing events here than we used to. And I think we have to look at our policing You know, we may need to have more police officers in the community walking the streets, because I agree that things have changed and we have to respond to these concerns.
Thank you.
I entitled my campaign "Strengthening Our Community," and so everything that I've been talking to people about is with that idea in mind. How do we strengthen our community? And what I want to do, and why I think it will work best, is looking at where the problems exist. Being a high school teacher, I've seen a lot of kids get into a lot of trouble in that age group between about 11 to 17. That seems to be the most difficult group of kids to really find the answer. So what I'm doing is I'm going to set up a volunteer recreation committee within my ward of young people and have them sit down and figure out what can be done, do the research on what can be done, so that we can get them more interested in going to ADNAC, for example, and maybe doing more mountain biking, is what I've already heard people talk about. In other words, getting the kids off the street so that they can reduce crime. Thank you.
Tom?
Again, I think we need to do two things. First of all, we need to consult with the experts. And the experts are the frontline people doing the jobs every single day. They will tell you what they need. They know where the problems are. And we need to confront them and go over exactly what their needs are. The second thing is we need more things for our children. I live on Bancroft past Lebec Street. I see kids with their skateboards walking from that area all the way down to the skate park. That is a healthy community. That allows children to get involved and feel good about where they live. And again, this goes back to my point earlier, Barry Down Arena, get it open and running, have more of those things in our community for our children, and then they won't have time to do anything else.
Thank you.